Ableton Live works. At the bottom of your desktop, you'll have the Live logo. You can go ahead and open that. All of the projects are going to be under the Open Recent set. That's where I typically find them. I've got a folder called Ableton Test. I've never changed it. It's always been what I've used. So that's where you're going to find the sets if for some reason they're not already opened and set up and ready to go. A couple of key things that I've got programmed into Ableton Live that are important to know is that I've got keystrokes, the letter P for pre-roll, there we go. 1 for the first song, 2 for the second song, 3 for song 3, and this 9 here is just so that we can skip the talking section of the set from Sunday mornings. Obviously you can see there's a number of tracks in here. That's just intentionally built into the set, so we have our backing tracks. And then at the bottom here, all these little bright neon green sections are cues for sending a signal from the Ableton computer to control the Pro Presenter computer over network. So essentially, if you look at Pro Presenter, there's a list of items, and in like the task bin or the bin for the schedule for the day, and correspondent to the correct location in Planning Center. In Pro Presenter, these cues will trigger the song or whatever's in those files. So that's always got to be correct. A couple other keys before I forget to. This is lowercase t, W for walk. That's where while the set is playing, the screen will actually travel with you along in the song. You don't have to use that. The X is tap tempo. You won't ever use that, but that's just some of the keystrokes. You don't have to use any of the keystrokes. That's just what I have set up. So when you start a song, you're going to hit the number. So in this case, I'm going to hit 1. It's going to bring us to the beginning of song 1. I'm going to hit spacebar to call that in. 2. You're going to hear the click. If for some reason you open up and you don't hear the click, it's probably because this click track is not enabled. I do not use the click tracks from the songs. I use the ones that I build in Ableton, which is something that you're going to find. You're going to find is set up at the bottom of the screen here. This red line represents the tempo. So 107, if you saw that, that's going to be your tempo for the song, and the next song is 118, and so on and so forth. It just using Ableton's click track allows for more flexibility in the songs as we work throughout the set. Whoever runs this computer always starts the pre-roll video at 3 minutes and 30 seconds before service. So what that looks like is if Ableton is stopped, then you have to arm it. You would hit P, and then actually arming it or executing the task, you hit spacebar. And so that simply is playlist 3, which is where in Pro Presenter that pre-roll video is set. Slide 1 is just indicating let's play that video. That's where that video sets in Pro Presenter. And keep in mind that the tempo does not match. This oddly positioned tempo bar was an attempt to try to match the audio from the Pro Presenter from the pre-roll video, and it's not exact at all. But once you get into the set right here at the end, you're going to hear that those things line up. At the top here, right here is setting the tempo. Time signature in this case is 4/4. It was 4/4, but I'm just showing you how that works. And you always want to line those up with the beginning of the song, because you don't want to, inevitably, you don't want to start a song on the 3 or on the 2. It makes it kind of confusing for the drummer. It's not impossible to follow, but this is much cleaner. So each one of the songs you'll notice has that. Another really cool trick if you're running Ableton Live is you can highlight sections of audio that you either want to duplicate or eliminate, and it saves so much time in editing. So in this case I want to delete it, so under Edit I go to Delete Time that I've highlighted. That's going to suck back that section of audio, and that's going to get me a lot closer to where I want to start the next song. If I want to create a section of audio, and typically I'll do that when I want to make the intro of a song longer while I do the introduction for the service, I'll highlight a section that I want to duplicate. Normally I'll look at the guide track for cues. Just visually it helps me understand what section is what based on the cues that are being called. So I'll highlight the section of audio, make sure you get it all that you want to duplicate, and essentially you just go up to Create, and you're gonna hit Insert Silence. But first you want to copy the section that you intend to paste. So go to Create, go Insert Silence. That's going to give you that space. Maybe you want to do that again, and then you can basically paste in that section to give you a longer intro, whatever you're looking to do there. So that's the high level of what Ableton Live calls the arrangement view. Under this tab right here, this is, I forgot the name of it now, but this is not the arrangement view. This is the stack order view. All the songs are listed here, and I've renamed them all to reflect the title of the song, the key, the tempo, and the key signature. I think I got that right. The key, the tempo, and the time signature. So all of those have been put in here. When you want to add a new song, you right click and you go Insert Scene, and of course you can rename it there. On the left hand side under Multitracks, you look for the song that you've downloaded off of multitracks.com. Once you've downloaded the song, then you place it into this music file, music bin under Multitracks, and then the song shows up here. Under here you'd just do the drop downs till you find what you're looking for, and you'd literally just grab them in. So in this case, acoustic guitar would go here, you drop it, it loads in, and you're working your way to putting together another set. Quick way to get that onto your scenes in the arrangement view is you can right click over the title and then just hit Select All, copy, bring it over to your arrangement view or wherever it is that you want to work, and then just paste it in, and there is all your files to get you started for a new set. As far as these cues, let me go back to those. As far as the cues at the bottom when you're running it with Ableton, underneath the same file folders, you're going to find Multitracks has at the bottom a Pro Presenter MIDI cue section. And basically there's a number of things that we can do here. The things that I use is just the playlist, which I just referenced as what is it's the specific item, like for example a song or the talk or a video in the task bin of Pro Presenter. You're going to grab that playlist, and that's going to queue up the correct song that you're looking for. Set that at the beginning of the song, and then after that you go into selecting the slide that you want. This slide list will go up to 30. Oftentimes your slides go beyond 30. So the way I have it set up, I've read other places, other people, the way they do it, they just repeat specific slides. I like to do it in consistent order, so that if we lose our internet connection, whoever's running Pro Presenter knows that the next slide is right in front of them. So you'll grab, say, slide 30, or I can go to slide 30 for example. We'll grab slide 30, and right here in this bar, if you don't see it, double click it, double click the slide, but you should see this little red bar. It's a tiny little red bar. You grab that and you can drag it up and down. That's going to give you the cue for, you know, slide 31, 32, so on and so forth. So that's a really quick overview of Ableton Live. I guess I'll say one other thing. When you're creating transitions between songs, I always listen to the transition because I like to imagine us crashing out of a song and going into another song. So I want to make sure that that transition's really smooth. So oftentimes I'll actually overlap audio files from a previous song into the next song partially, just so that we can eliminate some of that dead space in between songs. Hope that's helpful. Of course, if you have any questions, just let me know and ask. Thanks.